everyone, it's Phoenix here. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you how to recreate this Spotlight Peachy eye makeup. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is completely nude out the eye using a matte base color. This one is Phoenix in Sand and Surf, which I use all the time because it's just a really good staple just to smooth out that whole eye area and to create a matte base for your shadow to go on top of. I like to use quite a large brush when I do this just because it covers more area of skin and you can go in and do a couple of layers quite quickly. So now I'm going to use a Phoenix Just Peachy eyeshadow. Now this looks really bright for some reason on camera. It isn't this bright, it's quite a soft peach. It can be quite bright though. The more you add, the brighter it gets. So I'm just going to use this really softly today as a transition shade. Now a transition shade usually goes in the crease, but essentially it's like a medium tone shade which helps you to blend a brighter color into a lighter color, or it helps you to blend a darker color up into a lighter color. So it just gives you a really nice transition from dark or bright up to light. So with that Just Peachy shadow, we're taking that in the crease of the eye. Not every look requires a transition shade in the crease of the eye, but a lot do. So that's why you'll see this as quite a popular technique. So you see I'm just adding the color. You can see that if I kept going with this, it would be quite bright, but I do want it quite a soft depth because as you'll see on the other eye, it's just this color here. So it's used as a transition from the very bright apricot up into that medium depth, up into the lighter base. Okay, right about now is when I would go back to Sand and Surf and I would just take that up on the brow bone, and I kind of just apply more because I just want to make sure that that lighter color is here and that that peachy tone hasn't made its way up too high. So essentially we're cleaning up under the brow bone to make sure it's a base color and none of that peach has gone up too high. Now we don't have any really bright peaches in our range. We do have pumpkin, which I've used before in a few videos, but it is a very pumpkin shade. It's got a little bit of that kind of depth to it that pumpkin has. It's not peachy. So I am going to be using a Morphe palette today. This is Morphe palette 35B. And I'm going to be using two shades to create the peach. So I'm going to be using these two right here. So I'm going to be using this one and this one. And they are both matte colors. Just mixing those two colors together in equal parts. We are going to now take that mixture into the inner corner of the eye. Now if you broke up the eye into thirds, 1, 2, 3, so inner, middle, outer, we're just taking this color in the inner corner, slightly up into the crease but not too high. So press the color on. You'll see I'm using a shorter, firm brush, which I like to use for applying color and pigment because it will give you a really bold amount of color. If you use a fluffier blending brush, you're going to get a very softer result. So you'll see we're just taking that in the inner corner, and don't worry too much about blending it out for now, just kind of soften the edges. And then I'm going to mix those two together again and we're going to do the outer corner. So we're just doing the outer corner of the lid, so you'll see I'm not going up into the crease, so just on the lid there. Pressing the color on to build it up the intensity. Just look at the other eye to compare. Okay, now slightly into the fold of the eye, so that is the crease, but it's not kind of sitting on the crease, it's just right up into the fold. Bring that color up, but just make sure you don't go too high because we want that Just Peachy shadow as our transition. We want to see that color, we don't want to cover it. Okay, now make sure that this side comes up as evenly as that side. Okay, and now we're going to blend. So I would just wipe the excess off the brush and I'm going to use this one to blend. Being careful that you don't dissolve the color. So we want the color there to be really bright. So we're just going to gently blend the edges into the center, both sides. and then the edges we're just going to blend that up into the Just Peachy shade. Blending it up. Then we do the same on the outer corner, we're just blending it up and softening the edges, but we're not touching the main color because we want that to remain really bright. So I would then go back to Just Peachy and essentially just go back into the crease and soften the crease, apply a little bit more color and just blend those two inner and outer corners together using Just Peachy. Blend it up towards the crease and just using this brush to blend and soften. Okay, and once that is blended softly, I'm going to go back in again and just press more color into that area on the outer and inner corners. Just in there. Not taking it up too high because we don't want to destroy all that beautiful blending work, but just enough to bring the color back that may have been lost when you blended it out. Just going to take a little bit of Metallix in Gold Gaga and going to apply that to the center of the lid. That is just a base for the pigment to go on top. Then we're going to use Phoenix pigment in Pink Opal and we're going to apply that over the top. Then a white eye pencil in the bottom waterline. Taking the same colors used as the brighter shade on the eye, we're just going to use that under the lash line. Bring it out and across all the way to the center. And then a heap of black mascara. Then I'm going to apply the Gaga lashes, which are the winged out lashes that I used in a recent video for the Cat's Eye Smoky Flick. I just wanted to show you that you can reuse these lashes a few times. These are like the third or fourth time I've worn these. Once the lashes are on and the glue has settled a little bit, we're going to go in and just really press the natural lashes and the false lashes really close together using tweezers. So with a look like this where you're not doing any black liner or any dark liner on the top of the eye, you want to make sure that the joint of the lash molds in really closely to your natural lashes. So just go and press them together as closely as you can so you see absolutely no join between the natural lash and your false lash. Okay, once the lashes are done, we've just got finishing touches to do. So using our brand new Phoenix highlighter, this one is 01, it's called Enlighten. It's 01 because it's the lighter shade highlighter that we have. I'm going to use a little bit of that and I'm just going to go under the brow bone and put that on for a little bit of upper highlight. And I'm going to use the same thing right in here in that inner corner of the eye. Make that really strong. We're not using Pink Opal because I wanted a contrast. I wanted a slightly more silvery highlight as I wanted a contrast and a difference between this inner corner highlight under the brow bone and then the halo. So I wanted the halo to really stand out on its own. To complement the peachy tones in the eyes, I also used this blush here today. So this one is called Zinnia. It's a brand new Phoenix blush. It's a baked powder, so it's very soft. And it's just my favorite for getting peachy cheeks. And then on the lips, I used Pink Diamond lipstick with a little bit of Moonlit Mauve as a liner. And that completes today's video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and please subscribe to our channel. I do release videos every Tuesday and Friday.